is. It is. It's podcast day. We're excited. We're digging out there. What have we got? Ooh, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking podcast day.
Takes you back to that time of when you remember what you were doing when you first listened to that album, or
What is going on, you champions? That's right. Yes.
What up?
Podcast day. Two dudes talk music. Yes, and I've been stewing on this shit all day.
What is going on?
Yes.
It's that time. It's that time. Podcast time. Yeah, spill the beans, man. Spill the beans. We want it. We want this. The exclusive details.
What up? What's happening, everybody? We got Raph. We got Beer Buddy. We got Bitches Eating Pizza. We got
Yes.
we got Renegades up in here tonight. That we do. We got fucking Renegades on the stream tonight. How we all doing, everybody?
Oh, dude, I'm so good.
Hey. All right, man. What have you been listening to lately, dude?
Me, dude, I've just been fucking Sly Withers. So much
Yeah?
Sly Withers, man. I don't know. Dude, those guys from WA, they're just like really hitting the spot for me at the moment. They're doing a somewhat regional tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I don't like, because they're sort of playing not regional but semi-regional.
Yep.
And they got a show in Wollongong coming up, and I'm trying to convince the missus to go with me. I think it's happening, so I might get to break my slide with this cherry. But other than that, it's just been a lot of gymnast stuff. We're getting ready to give these tickets away tonight, so get ready for that.
Yeah, we got the giveaway. Make sure you stay tuned for that at the end. Randomly picking one of our followers to win that double pass. So if you're not already a follower, make sure you get on that.
Still got a chance.
Absolutely. Man, you know what? I've been listening to just a lot of 12-Foot Ninja.
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of 12-Foot Ninja, kind of going back through that stuff. Real sad that they're, getting a bit sad that they're not around anymore.
Now it's nostalgia. That's the saddest part.
It is. It's nostalgia now, unfortunately. But, they put out some incredible music. I think we need to reach out to some of those guys about coming on the podcast, actually.
Stevic.
Yeah.
Kin. Either one. Or any of yous. Any of yous.
Either and or both.
Yeah.
And or all of them.
Yeah.
If anyone knows the boys, reach out.
Love to have yous on.
Reach out. We definitely want to get them on because I'm sure there's a million stories.
Pick your brain about the industry.
Absolutely. Oh, mate. Still,
How's a jet lag? Have you sort of settled back into...
Kind of settling in for the most part. I'm a bit... Like, my sleep pattern's a little iffy still, but I'm getting there. I'm just about settled back in. Less luck finding work, to be honest. The job market's not great out there at the moment. Had a couple of interviews, didn't really lead anywhere, but we'll see how we go. If anyone wants to hire this gorgeous face, please reach out.
Don't forget, man, you can always fall back on OnlyFans.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's. Except no, I always said if I was ever do it, I'd do a reverse OnlyFans where I send people nudes until they pay me to stop. So, that's someone better hire me, or if they don't, they're going to be responsible for a lot of unsolicited.
Yeah, that's it. So instead of OnlyFans, you can just call it "Please Stop."
Yeah. Exactly. Bro, man. All right, let's get to the reason for the season. Let's get to the reason for the season.
Let's do it.
Lovely folks on the stream. We have once again. They've been on here before, raising all kinds of hell.
Yeah, I love it.
They just dropped a new song, pissing everybody off. Let's get them on. We have Unentitled.
Let's go.
How we doing, everybody?
Let's just get rid of these. I had logos up for you and all this, so I didn't know how many were going to be on.
Yeah, unprofessional, mate.
Logos.
I know. I had your logo ready, the whole lot. How are you, lads?
Yeah, all right. Yourself?
I am happy now that you're here.
Thank you. You
Looking
too.
very sharp. It's looking very good tonight.
Yeah.
Blake, pretty in pink.
Thank you. Well, I mean, sort of.
Yeah. Sorry.
Green, maybe.
And we've had the promise. We've had the
Why
promise.
you
Everyone
fucking
who's watching, we've had the promise that the zipper is going to come down further if we get more, if we get more followers. So that's
Please hit that follow
tantalizing.
button.
If we get to 100, it's all the way down. So let's make that happen. Come on. Let's get them nips out.
Yeah, no, you can hold me to that.
All right.
You're terrifying, dude. You're terrifying.
The-
You're a menace.
Oh, look, we're
Well, to be fair, Unentitled are menaces.
absolutely. You guys out
Yeah,
here
we do our
releasing,
fair bit.
releasing all kinds of music and pissing all kinds of people off and getting venues shut down and everything. You know?
Go into that. Let's just dive straight into that. So
let's get the elephant in the room out of the way.
if anyone didn't watch our previous podcast with these guys, it was just before their charity gig.
Right.
It was just before your annual release of Advance Australia Unfair, which was your release single and your show for that single.
Yeah.
I saw the
was
photos
there.
on the socials. Raph was there. Tell me the shitstorm you created. Tell everyone the shitstorm you created.
All right.
To
I
be
guess I'll
fair,
start.
sorry, before we go into this story, I will just say, as someone who has knowledge of it, Unentitled didn't necessarily create the problem. The
We were the
problem
catalyst.
was the problem existed
Yeah.
due to the venue, due to other issues already that were already in place. The incident that happened may have been the catalyst for something finally happening.
It was a
But-
next level moment.
So you were the
But
straw that broke
but
the
will
camel's
say-
back.
I will say I place no blame. And I don't
Okay,
think anyone
okay.
really places blame on Unentitled themselves. Just wanted to get that out there before we get into the story.
I do
because-
apologise for calling it a shitstorm. The controversy that's
because-
surrounding the show.
Because look, I just don't think it's fair to put the blame on these guys for what happened. Because
I
there was a
Respect.
broader issue already in play.
I willingly accept all blame. No,
A true leader.
yes, it got shut down purely because of myself. No, okay, so basically what
ego.
happened? Sorry.
The ego on this man.
Yeah, he sensed my British
What do you
cells. Simply what happened was a fellow walked up to me at the ticket desk and I said, "Hello, sir, would you like to, do you have a ticket or would you like to buy a ticket?" And he said, "No, I'd like you to shut this entire event down." And
What
I
time
said,
was
"Well,
it?
that's not one of the options."
What time was it?
It was almost 8. It was like 7:50.
7:50
And-
in the valley. Yeah.
He said yes,
Valley,
it was
yeah.
too late.
Basically,
too
if you
loud,
know the Valley,
sorry.
It's like King's Cross.
Yeah. It's too loud and yeah, something about with the venue, yada yada. And eventually someone said, "Oh, you should go look you should go talk to the manager." And he got sent off in a different direction. And I simply said, like, it's 8 o'clock, not even 8 o'clock, and we're in the valley. Like, really? He looks back at me and he gives me a really smug, like, "Oh, it's not even 8 o'clock in the valley." And he'd already been giving us enough trouble by this point, and so I just said, I advised, you don't need to be a cunt. Can you not be a cunt? I advised, can you not be a cunt? And he revealed the strength of the white race of his British self by saying he was offended by being called a cunt. And yeah, just proceeded to film me the entire there was a few of us, film us the entire time while saying, "Come on, what did you say? What did you say? What did you call me?" And I didn't call him because it's like, I don't
Go
have
for
to
the
play
plan.
along with this. And then he started saying that I was a meth baby.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I've never even heard that before, but
And he said that a lot more than I ever said cunt.
Well, to be
I
fair,
just
the word cunt
Advised
is
him
like
not to be one.
the word cunt is
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a very
very
subjective
yeah. It's
term.
like you could be a mad cunt or a shit cunt. Really,
Yeah, I could have
and,
been complimenting him.
and realistically, he ended up being a shit cunt. I mean, that's not even
Very
really
much
look,
so.
No, it was really a noise complaint. I thought it was something good.
Yeah, right. I know. If only. If only it was something like about what the thing was.
Oh,
for.
really? Oh man.
Mm.
Oh, dude. If you're seeing this, dude, that you're a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, I just then go inside because he just got way too annoying. He wouldn't go away. And so I went inside, yelled out, "Hey, can I get some help out here?" What did I say?
You said you
Here
need
you go,
some
Blake.
security.
Blake, do you want to take it from here? I feel like this
Yeah.
is a good point for you to take
Okay.
it over.
So the first band had just finished up. They were packing up. And Mason comes in a little distraught. He's like, I need some security out here. Like, please, someone come out. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a bit of a... He's fucking around. He needs someone to come out. And I walk out, and there's this very angry man danced up with a cap and flip-flops at
Ooh.
8 p.m. complaining about noise in the valley. Anyway, it didn't de-escalate for a little while. We continued to throw names back and forth, and eventually he was... Oh, I don't recall that part. Eventually, everyone else in the venue walked outside at the same time. Which was 20 or 30 metalheads and punks. And this guy very, very quickly got very nervous because there was a lot of people there making a fool of himself. Anyhow, he just yelled at us for a while. And eventually the cops came round. As much as
They were
we're
undercover cops.
undercover, plainclothes.
Yeah,
Oh,
detectives.
Pointless, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
As
yeah, they
much-
were staking out the whole spot. They were staking out the gig.
Hmm.
Yeah, the plainclothes cops who then he like just kept complaining about it all too, which he played very heavily on the fact that I called him the C word. To which I then said, "Well, yes, that's because you're being one."
Yeah,
Um,
said that in front of the cops.
yeah.
yes.
Well, you know, let's.
It was
I'm
funny.
gonna be
That's
honest.
the one time
It-
you're allowed to do it because it's funny.
Oh.
And the cops basically said to him, since it wasn't 10 o'clock, like, there's nothing you can do.
But this man,
If it's still a problem past 10 o'clock,
yeah,
we'll do
he
something.
leaves.
And so he goes off. And then they walk up to us, and they say to me like, "Oh yeah, you know, just try not to be the instigator and whatnot. Don't say anything, because that, you know, blah blah blah. Just like, be a good person, behave.
Calm the fuck down.
Why don't you behave?" Yeah. And then he's like, "So what is this all for?" "Oh yeah, oh it's like a gig," and like, "Yeah, it's a charity gig, blah blah blah." It's like, "Oh cool. Oh, is this the band name?"
Is this the
And he
merch?
was reading
Yeah,
like
some merch
the
on the table.
yeah, he was reading the merch. I'm like, "Yeah, Unentitled." He's like, "Oh yeah, cool name, cool." And I'm
I'd
like,
say
"Do you
I
want
agree with the
do you want the
burning
shirt?"
flag.
He's like, "No, I can't." Yeah, that's right. I had the burning Australian flag on it. And I'm like, "You want the shirt?" And he's like, he looked at me like, "No." I'm like, "All right, well, what about a pin? You know, these are $2." And he looked at me like, I don't think I can really spend money." And I said, "Well, the stickers are free," and they both took them. They both took them.
Yeah, slap one on the bumper of the cop car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
reflective and shiny and everything.
Yeah, they help. That just helps with visibility, my man. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a
Anyway.
safety thing.
Yeah.
So there are 2 cops somewhere in Brisbane with unentitled burning flag stickers. Keep an eye out if you're out in the valley
They'll
sometime.
be important for when the revolution happens. They're the inside agents.
Anyhow,
That's it.
that fellow that complained is apparently very good at writing angry letters. Because how long after was it? A week or two?
It was
got-
like, I don't know, half a week to a week
half-
later.
about a
we
week
found
later, we
out.
got a
like,
message from O'Sculligan saying, "Oh yeah, we can't have any more live music, so I'm just gonna thanks for throwing events here, but we can't do it anymore." So,
Yeah. Two of us found out. But yeah.
I feel a
I
little
mean, it's
bad.
not really your fault. That's an angry man writing a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, didn't it? Again, this is kind of what I've heard since then, if I may interject here, which is why I don't put blame on any of the bands that played that night, or even on Mason for, you know.
You say
Well,
this because
clapping
you're You say this because you're partially responsible. Because we played Killing in the Name, and you shouted that shit.
There is blood on
Well,
your hands
That
too,
was good
Raph.
fun though. Let's be real. That was good
But
fun. It was worth
Oh,
it.
yeah.
basically, I mean, yeah. Look, I'm like some motherfucker made a noise complaint. All right, let's sing, "Killing in the Name" as loud as we fucking can.
Yeah.
But my understanding, if this is if and boys, if there's other information that's that I'm wrong, then let me know. But what I have come to learn since then is basically the venue didn't necessarily have all of the proper sound dampening measures in place.
Yeah, apparently
for
that was the case.
the
Yeah.
units
Yeah.
above. And there had been discussions with the venue about this previously, and they were supposed to keep noise levels down after a certain time, and somehow that wasn't happening, which is kind of what led to the issues there. So,
Yeah.
Story's still fun.
disappointing, but at the end of the day, like, this guy's in he's in an entertainment precinct.
Technically, that corner of the block isn't, and that's what he was going for the technicality on, getting O'Sculligan shut down.
Oh.
Yeah. O'Sculligan's technically isn't in a entertainment precinct, it's in something different, but it's close enough to the
Gerrymandering
valley that you
On
can
the
say.
same fucking street.
That's
like,
one
Yeah,
person that
right.
went in there and
Across
found
the
out
road.
that divide and just went, they're not there. I'm writing the letter.
Yeah, it's just
Basically, yeah. And
halfway
it
through
sucks,
the
and
apartment.
This guy has the
they're,
most enlarged printout of the map ever.
yeah,
Could
got
fit
it
it
up on his wall with like
forehead.
the red strings going
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
No, you could fit it on his forehead.
Apartment looking like the Riddler's place from
Yeah,
Batman,
yeah.
last Batman movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yes, Skunkbone played that gig, and yes, I was encouraging everyone to scream "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me" as loud as they possibly could.
And that's part of the show. That's to be expected.
Crowd involvement. What do
Part
you-
of the show,
Exactly.
absolutely. I mean,
Well,
fuck,
as we've seen
these
with
guys-
Donald Trump, you don't need to be accountable for that kind of
these-
thing. That was their choice.
I don't know what they're complaining about. Like, these guys got to hear an incredible gig without even paying for it. Like, I
Yeah,
think
that like I
thanking
wish I
us,
got that.
Really, they should be thanking us. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be paying me.
But it's look, yeah, it's a shame. Unfortunate that it happened. However, if it is the case that the venue didn't have the adequate protections in place that they were obligated to have, then unfortunately that's where the blame has to fall, because they were running gigs knowing that they didn't have that in place. And
That's not a legitimate business. That's a racketeering.
I say if it's alleged. I have no proof of any of this. This is all second and third hand information that I have heard about this, but that is the information I have come into or with it. So
Yes.
it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that a venue is no longer the venue's still operating. They just can't have
Barely.
live music. But given that was a large portion of their business, it's not it's difficult for them there. But
Quite clearly, the fundage of all the money that they had made over the time wasn't spent properly, and they thought they could do it on the cheap, and you reap what you sow. If that is the case, and they didn't have all this proper soundproofing in place.
yeah. So I mean, hopefully they can fix up whatever they need to fix up, and they can, maybe resume gigs there again. We'll see how that plays out. I'm a musician. I never like to see a venue stop putting on live music. It's a shame when it happens, because it's one less place for us to all go and play and hang out and have fun while we watch other bands, and it's one less opportunity for bands to be able to play and get their stuff out there. So while yes, Bad Luck did open up recently next to King Lear's Throne, so it's kind of we lost one, gained another. It's I'd rather we didn't lose one and we just gained another, right? Like,
That's what you want.
Yeah.
More venues are better.
definitely would have been better. But yeah,
Right.
let's get on to the new single.
Yeah. Oh,
Hell of a
yeah.
job.
Let's talk about that.
Hell of a job. Hell of a statement.
Well. Sorry.
It was a hell of a job. Hell of a statement.
Thank you. I mean, Raf, you know everything about it, surely. So simply,
Yeah.
you'd be able to explain the song.
Well, look, I mean, that was one of the fun ones to record. It really was. I am a big fan of the, you know, the way that the idea is presented in the song. It definitely appeals to me. The groove is fucking awesome. I love that shit. We definitely had a lot of fun recording that one. So
Oh yeah.
As much as it is a very serious song, it's a very fun song too.
It's a bop, as they say.
It's
as the kids
yes,
say,
It is.
quite the bop.
It's quite the ditty.
A ditty,
Yeah.
a groove.
It's jazzy. It's a bop. Come on.
All the
No
musical terms.
yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, like that one was a lot of fun to work with with Unentitled on for sure. We just trying to think if we did anything really outrageous recording wise on that. I don't know if we did. That one was pretty
I
straightforward.
think that was like the
for most
simplest
part.
one.
Yeah, it was
I
one of the more
mean-
simple ones.
We played a bunch of scratch tracks the day before and played for like 6 hours straight.
Whoa.
So that was a
That's
little
nothing outrageous for that song though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had to record the entire thing the day after, so
Yeah. Well,
That
you
was a
know,
little bit
gotta test yourself. Gotta test
Yes,
yourself. That's
certainly.
why you need your endurance as a player. But yeah, no, I think this one was actually one of the more simple ones for us to get down. There's nothing too outlandish in there in terms of the recording process, but as you've already pointed out, that bass groove is really really fun. I really like that the way that kind of weaves through the whole song and just adds that, like that drives it. I think
It does.
it really does drive it. So
Kudos to the baseman.
Yeah, it was a great job.
Baseman
I mean,
Blake.
but it's a biased thing though, because Raf's a bass player, so he's always going to make the bass sound good.
but it does. It
It
sounds
does.
good.
It does
That's
sound
just-
really good.
But let's
That's
be
not
honest.
That's just because I want to sound good in my mixes of my own stuff that I've done, and so I have all of the tools and tricks to make that happen. And when anyone else comes in, it's like easy, just bang 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 bang. Your bass is gonna sound fucking awesome.
But not as good.
Not as good as rap. You gotta pay extra
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
the
everyone-
privilege.
I want everyone to sound, I want everyone to sound good. I would never withhold anything like
That's
that.
it. The
from
better
people.
you guys sound, the more business it drums up for Raf.
Yeah, absolutely.
It all works in a.
I don't know if we're the best advertisement plan
Oh,
strategy for yourself.
I think you guys are, because if people take the time to actually go back and listen to your old stuff and then have a listen to the new stuff now,
They'll realize how
and-
much it
well,
was.
you said that, not me. And not just that.
I say that
Even
also.
for Raf, if people listen to Raf's recording of the Skunkbone album, the first Skunkbone album, number 2 in the works, I'm really interested to hear what Raf does with the new Skunkbone album after hearing.
Oh, you don't even know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You don't
saying.
even
Like,
fucking
because he
know
would have learned
what
so
I'm
much.
doing.
He would have learned so much from doing that he would have put with you guys. That he would have put into Unentitled. And now everything that he's learned from that's just gonna be an ever evolving entity.
Let's
We
hope
were
so.
the guinea pigs.
Let's hope so. I mean, I think it sounds pretty good for an EP that was, bought with alcohol.
It doesn't.
Oh,
It doesn't
well,
sound
more
like
than worth it.
How was that Agua, by the way?
Ooh, so good.
You
So
got
good.
an Agua?
Worth
really-
every drop.
That's my drink of choice now.
I bought myself a bottle not too long ago. It tastes like grass.
You don't like it?
It was good, but it tastes like grass.
I mean, I don't
Good
drink
grass.
it straight. I don't drink it straight. You put it in other stuff, but
Bah.
no.
Do you ever
so-
drink it while
I mean,
listening
it is.
to War
It is.
Crimes
It
Inc?
is. I mean, it is coca leaf pure. What do you?
Yeah,
what do
that's
you-
it. It's gonna taste like a
right,
leaf.
like-
It's gonna taste like a tree.
Yeah, exactly. But
The
it,
fuck?
it's like
Yeah.
it
But
tastes
no,
like a freshly mown lawn.
We.
Oh.
No
It
one just
was- it
drinks
was-
Woodstock
You're
these
speaking
days.
to the borderline middle-aged parent in me. I love it.
it.
Mow the lawn, stand out there with a beer, and just soak all that smell. Oh, love it.
Okay, so for anyone out there who may be listening to the podcast but perhaps hasn't heard the song yet, first off, go and listen to the song as soon as the podcast is finished.
Yep.
Mason, can you give us a bit of information for the people,
Mhm.
what the song is about, how that's
Sure thing.
how that's presented in the song, and just I guess the idea and the concept behind the song itself.
Yeah. So,
Start with the title.
thank you. The song is called War Crimes Inc. And to put it simply, it's a CEO doing a sales pitch for his company that does war crimes. They do everything you want, whether it be revolutions, coups, um, uh, 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 genocide, terrorism. They do all. And he is just doing his little sales pitch. And as most sales pitches these days are, they're quite cheesy and whatnot. And they all kind of sound the same with the same little jingle.
All very
So,
corporate.
very corporate. So basically, as we've been saying so far, there's a groovy little bass line, and it feels very corporate-y. And so we just slapped together a bit of a jingle for everyone to listen to. But a bit more about, yeah, again, the war crimes, the company that devils in the war crimes that governments will do business with.
So yeah, I mean, so realistically, the song is, as a lot of your music is, a political statement. about-
Confrontational, definitely.
yeah, a very presented in a catchy package to get people kind of going, oh, this is kind of cool. And then once by the time the song's halfway over, they're like, hang on, this is like a,
Hang on,
this is a
this is
political thing.
horrific.
But it's obviously the message of things like governments across the world engaging in false flag operations and engineering discourse and coups in other countries around the world to
Straight up just
destabilize them
killing
and create different
civilians.
economies, engaging in genocides and also police states, militaristic tactics against civilians, all that kind of stuff. So it
Everything,
is heavy
all of it.
subject matter presented in a palatable way to try and get past your defenses, I guess, and make you think about it. Is that a pretty apt description? Would you say?
Yes, I would. Especially add in the basically the profiteering off of it all.
Yeah.
And just the yeah, behind the scenes, what can be done, well, what is done, and what we don't know. So with things with, I don't know, military industrial complex and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. And things that we'll never have the privilege of knowing, and for your greater good. Well,
Well, yeah, be fair.
you know what I mean?
But
It's just, it's such a cop out in the long run. For your greater good.
The blood's on our hands, not yours.
Yeah, we did it for you. We did it for you. Not for our pockets.
No, certainly not. There's a bit of a story, actually. Well, I say story. There's a bit of a factoid about how we came to write that, or well, how the idea came about. It was basically the drummer and I got very sick of Mason tuning between songs, so there's a lot of dead air. You know, everyone has
and
to have
broken strings.
dead air. Oh, that's right. You broke 3 strings.
It was
in
mainly
one
it was
gig.
it was mainly broken strings because the amount of time it took for me to get a new string on, restring it right, tune
So-
it. You guys would just play jazz.
Yeah, you know,
Rock.
punk band playing jazz. It seems completely out of place, but fills the air at the very least. So that little riff just fit perfectly, and we had this amazing idea. Bum bum ba da ba bum bum ba da
Yeah,
dum.
it's so good.
Yeah, it's just a little riff.
Like, regardless, love or hate the song, you'll be tapping your feet by the end of it.
Exactly.
Most of the lyrics is just like jokes that Hayden would say, and then I just added a rhyme to it.
Yes, Al.
Just made it contextual.
I like how
Yeah.
you said it's the whole concept of the CEO pitch it like the sales pitch thing, and literally you can like now that you sort of said it like that, you can actually see it. And thinking back on the song, it's just like but the way I see it's just like mounds of coke in a room, and they're just drunk with power and just having it like, yeah, look there. That
Yeah.
typical.
That's in like the chorus section, you know. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when he's like
And they have the
enjoying the
one
power.
mostly sober, presentable character out the front of the company. Welcome to War Crimes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just let me
And the
let me
lines-
wipe up the blood from my nose real quick.
Yeah.
Exactly
and
what you think.
the lines too of like, you know, like Mama told me to get paid for what you love, and then this person's out there running a company that's like resulting in the deaths of millions and potentially billions of people, and it's like, all right, well, what kind of twisted individual would not only do a job like that but enjoy it? And then you think, okay, well, there's clearly people that think like this in the world, because there's
yeah.
evidence of, you know, and people talk about, oh, well, you know, no, the government would never do that. It's like, well, no, they fucking did it. Like, they fucking
Yeah,
did
they
it.
have.
Like,
They've admitted to it in some of these
documents-
cases.
you know, documents come
Declassified
out
stuff.
declassifying stuff, and you're like, you know, the rumors of people, oh, the government experimented on people with you know, like,
LSD.
with LSD, and Mike, and it's like, the government would never do that, motherfucker. They did it.
They admitted to
Where do
it.
you think we
They've
got-
literally admitted to
MK
it.
Ultra, MK Ultra is the fucking thing. Like, they did that shit.
The only reason it was a
Yeah.
conspiracy theory is because now it's a fact. It's not a theory anymore.
Like, so, and then people want to sit there and say, well, no, but they wouldn't do it now. Surely they wouldn't do it now.
Oh yeah, because TV
Yeah,
hasn't
that-
been warping the minds of all of us for fucking.
Because now you've got people at the Republican Party out there basically just going, yeah, we don't care, we're going to change everything and try and steal the next election because we feel
Finally
the last one
have
was
power.
stolen.
finally
And
have
because
power
they
to
realize
do it.
that, you know, and not, you know, I don't want to get, like, we're not a political podcast, so we don't want to get too into the weeds on that stuff, but they do realize that out of the like, you know, I think it was the midterm elections that they had in the US last year, the Gen Z voters was like 3/4 of them were us. Was like 3/4 of them was like voting left, or more, you know, voting Democrats. All right, well, I won't say
Yeah,
left
yeah,
because
yeah.
left Democrats are more like, they're more left than the Republicans, but you know, they wouldn't say they're left, but anyway, and that Gen Z and millennials, who also primarily vote Democrat in the US, are now, like, you know, they're now the largest voting blocks. So
Or soon to be.
they recognize that their largest voting things is boomers, which are on the way out, and they're trying to do everything they can to swing things and using the electoral college and twisting things so that they can still win despite not getting the majority of direct votes. And
The American political system is the most convoluted and
It's-
confusing thing on this planet. I thought the Australian one was bad. My lord.
yeah, and I mean, but the whole system, everything down to having elections on a Tuesday. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
voting,
So no
voting
one can
days-
come out and vote.
Voting days are Tuesday, and it's not a holiday. It's not made up like a mandated public holiday. So if you can't get off work, well, too bad.
It
And
made
try to
sense
limit
back when it
limit
was
the reach of,
yeah, but now-
of pre-voting and postal voting and all this kind of stuff. So it's, at least here we have to vote for whatever you think about this. You know, having to vote means everyone everyone's supposed
Forced to have a
anyway.
voice.
Having it on the weekends ensures that most people are not working, and you know, the availability of pre-voting and postal voting tends to make it a bit easier for us here. And the way preferential voting works, just, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages
Yeah.
to that we could get into all day, but yeah.
But
So
we're not a political podcast. So
No.
let's get back onto music. How about that?
Yeah.
let's get back to music. So have
Believe
you
me.
guys got you guys got a video for this one coming out?
We have an
Uh,
idea for one.
We have an idea. I just
Okay.
cannot be bothered right now.
Why not just like?
Uh,
surely the idea's got to be just the fucking boardroom shit thing. Surely.
Definitely along those lines, but there's a little bit more that we want to add in. That
Yeah. We
yeah.
want to be.
Oh, dude, you know what you
Kissing
should
babies
do?
and
Do one of
such,
those
but-
cheesy 1980s corporate videos with the shitty background music and stuff like that, and all the cheesy thumbs ups and the Macintosh computers in the background.
and the like V8, the old like screen overlay effect and stuff on it. Make sure the
Yeah,
video is in
yeah.
3:4 aspect ratio.
The grainy overlay.
Yeah, grainy with the curved edges, so it's like an old, the older TV.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Yeah, you know exactly what we're talking about.
yeah.
I remember
I'll give
seeing
you
them
that
in
fucking
high
idea
school.
for free.
Yeah, those ones.
Oh, no, thank you.
Fuck. Oh, we're old now.
Yeah,
Um,
yep, yep. It's happened.
I remember seeing those ones in high school. Fuck off.
To be fair, I think the ones that I saw were maybe more so from
What,
90s.
you're gonna say they're in
2000s.
history books? Is that what you were gonna say?
Well, technically, right?
Well, what you're referring to definitely was in the history books. It could only be.
You're not going to be one of those people that's like, oh, can I check your ID? And they give it back to you. I saw the one. It's okay.
Nah, he
Yeah,
just takes his hat off.
19.
Just takes his hat off.
Hey,
Top
just
of his head.
just out. We're just early 1900s, you know, or late 1900s, you know.
Oh, don't. I die every time someone says that. I die a little inside. In the late 1900s, fuck off.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just
Yeah, I
because
get
it's
that.
correct doesn't mean you have to say it.
Yeah.
There's a whole
Oh my
100
God.
years there that you don't need to think about.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, oh, yeah, I die with that. Well, I mean, hopefully the film clip does come to fruition for it.
I really do.
We have ideas. Yeah, we have ideas.
Just
we,
no
we got
funding.
other priorities.
Because the Events Australia Unfair one was very good.
Ah,
Thank you.
thank you.
It was very good.
We had no idea what we were doing. I mean, I think as does every band probably for their first music video. But yeah, that it came to life.
You kind of have to go
Thankfully.
through that, right? You have to have a shitty early video.
Well, thank you for your judgment of the video.
relatively,
Raf.
relatively.
But
compared to what you will produce later down the line, it's not as
Yes.
high quality. And I exaggerate with saying shitty, but like these are the things that every young band goes through. You do this stuff like your first recordings, your first video, your first gigs. You look back at them and you're like, okay, no, down the road you go, yeah, maybe those weren't quite so great as we thought they were at the time. And that's not a critic. It's not to say they're bad. Now it's what you're able to do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great for what it is. So, that video came out really good. I'm sure the
No, I
next
liked
one's
it.
coming out better. And it gets the message out there. Like you guys are it's got the punk aesthetic. It fits the vibe. It's the the DIY sort of energy to it. It's exactly what you can do. You work with what you have, and you do the absolute best with what you got available. And I think you guys did that.
Yeah. Okay, so not to call you out, but pop quiz. How many dildos were there in that scene?
Not enough.
There at least needed to be 8
Next
more.
question.
Well,
That
we'll
was
put more
very
in the
good.
next video then. We'll do the War Crimes Inc. one.
Oh, we so
Every
should-
video
we'll
needs
just-
to have more. Every video needs to have one more. dildo than the
Yeah,
previous.
that's an excuse.
And always different ones. Always different ones.
Yeah.
Can't
But
be
there
the
has to
same.
be an Easter egg one. There has to be one that's the
Yeah.
same. The one dildo in the rough.
The one dildo that's hidden in every fucking music video.
The Easter egg
Like we're gonna have
dildo.
to call up some friends to borrow some stuff.
No, I got plenty. Don't worry.
All right then. Alrighty.
Okay,
Which is
never
horrible.
mind.
Instead of the CEO using like a I don't know like not
A laser
wand,
pointer or something.
laser pointer. Yeah, it's a dildo. It's like shining.
And it never points to it never points to the thing that they want to think.
So,
because it's
I thought
wobbling
you were
the
talking
entire
about the
time.
movie.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about, and when the elevator doors open, instead of it being blood, it's just a flood of dildos coming out of the elevator.
Oh my god, yes.
I don't think this one's going to be able to go on YouTube, man.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
It's like always the case.
Can we use
Oh,
these standards?
dude.
What?
YouTube are gone crazy with their censorship now. We'll see. We'll see. We'll throw it on there. Roll the
Oh, are
dice.
they really? What
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
they doing now?
Well,
Oh, maybe I should-
basically, if we swear in the first, I think 15 minutes of the video, which we always do. I mean, there's swearing in our fucking intro. There's literally
It's
no.
like- yeah, like, it's fucking podcast day. Like 30 seconds into the video.
Yeah,
like,
we got no hope.
So
This is-
immediately disqualified.
yeah. We're just allowed to post. We're not allowed to make money off them.
Oh,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
that's fucked, YouTube. Fix it, you fucking cunts.
That's not healthy. That's not going to help.
Who
Fuck
gives
'em.
a shit about the kids?
Nah, hey, none of our videos
Fuck
are.
them kids.
Fuck
Not
them
literally,
kids.
don't know,
Yeah.
not like
Yeah,
that.
don't fuck kids, but fuck
No.
them kids.
Let's not make that a chant. Let's not do that.
No, we don't want to. Oh god. No, we don't want to.
Hey, it's just going to be a whole Dalai Lama thing all over again, and let's not. Let's no.
We're not gonna. Moving swiftly along. So what about the rest of the EP? When's that one coming out? Soon, yeah.
Well, it's out for Patreon members at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Early
right. I did
access.
see that. If
Yeah.
you're on the Patreon, or if you want to hear the album now, go to the Patreon.
Yeah, I think we also
that
have
gets
lyrics up as well.
gradually.
Very good.
Or
Yeah,
putting
see.
them up gradually, yeah.
So
So people can sing along.
after obviously these two tracks come out, how have you? Has there's obviously going to be good and bad feedback. How has the feedback been?
I'd say mostly positive so far.
It's
I don't
good.
think I've
We've-
really-
We've had more than one person think we were being legitimate when we said
Yeah, that was a thing.
War Crimes Inc. is the
Oh.
thing. So
Yeah, so someone make a comment about like, oh yeah, because praising the military-industrial estate, or maybe it was just army, I can't remember. Praising the army and being punk is so cool or whatever. And I was just like,
Well, clearly they didn't listen to the song,
nah.
so their opinion
For
carries
fuck's sakes.
precisely 0 weight.
you really can't spell it out for people on the internet.
It's all sarcasm. I don't understand why they
It's
don't.
all right.
get
When you
it.
put the
No,
lyrics
I'm
up,
hired
just-
by the Russians.
When you
Yeah.
put the lyrics up for War Crimes Inc., put them in that like
Oh, they've
that
already
way
been up,
people
but yeah.
type, where it's like one capital letter, one lowercase, one uppercase, one lowercase. It's like the sarcasm font.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sarcasm and fun.
yeah, just put wait when you post the lyrics, put them in that so people get them.
Yeah. All right. I'll make that happen. You're not going to remember Mason, but I know what he means, so I'll make it happen.
Thank God you do, because I have no idea.
No, it's basically the way the internet has decided to dictate sarcasm
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
or mocking someone's like if you quote someone and then you put it that way. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
like,
much
me,
that.
me, 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 me,
Yeah.
me, me.
Yeah, it's.
I think I know the answer, Mr. Garrison.
Yeah. Basically that sort of thing. You're just
Yeah,
mocking what they've said or giving a sarcastic answer to something. So, yeah, I
Yes.
do that so that way people will be like, oh, okay, it's sarcasm, right?
Because I was going to say, even,
People,
like,
people can't fucking tell already. Like,
you posted that
Yes.
video. You posted that
the
video
aggressive.
on Instagram. I think it was washing the flag. It was like a day or two after
Ah.
that video came out.
Oh yeah, that was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the backlash you obviously copped from the?
Oh, people didn't like that.
I've
People
still
did
got a
not like
flag
that.
up behind me. That's
I've got mine
one of-
somewhere over in here.
That's one of the flags
There you
from
go.
the video.
That was
I moved the camera, but it's terrible.
that was my girlfriend's idea, and that was at her place, and yeah, that was rather funny. That was we people didn't like that, and most of them just kept saying people died for that flag. I was like, yes, so I can say what I want. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, they literally died for the
Shut the
right
fuck up.
for the your right to protest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burning a flag
yeah,
isn't
so-
illegal. Just
Also, a few
So
of them were
you know.
Kiwis.
Really?
A few of them were Kiwis as well, so it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. It's not even your country. Get lost.
that's weird though, because I thought, I mean, from my understanding, most like New Zealand tends to be pretty good when it comes to
they're pretty chill over there. Yeah.
like reconciliation with like the Maori people and culture and finding ways to bridge the gaps, I guess, that may have developed. I mean, that's just my understanding of it. I may be way off base with it, but
They're actually huge racists. They actually just hate. They
Yes,
just- yeah.
we know one in our band. We know two, but
Mm. Yeah,
the
you
one in our
and-
band is his name is White. Aiden White.
He's the great
So-
white.
Well, there goes any tour of New Zealand that you guys might have been able to.
No,
There goes
well,
any tour of anywhere we want to go.
Yeah.
unless they're a racist country, I don't know.
Yeah, so America's fine. The
And
South.
according to you, New Zealand's fine. So I don't know what you're talking about.
This is
Yeah.
true. It's actually it makes us an audience there. That's why we've got Hayden.
Have you
He's
got?
gonna watch this and be like, these fuckers.
You had your chance to come on. You could have defended yourself.
Nah, he'll just accept it.
It's
He
good.
just accepts it.
He's a drummer. No one cares anyway.
We've got tons of them in the storage room.
Yeah, we got that many clones. We're fine.
Yeah, clones. Yeah. We don't have other drummers, just more Haydens.
More heads. I love that. Each one in a different onesie.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
So
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah,
they've,
no.
they've all got their
Yeah.
own number designation.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're like
well-
Pokemon.
pull up the Word document.
Oh, yeah, alright.
The
Uh,
Word
Yeah, I've got a
document.
Word document.
We've
Yeah,
got a
but-
whole database of numbers and such.
Yes. Hang
What
on.
was
Give
was
me talk for a short moment.
the Hayden 182 is just Travis Barker.
Yes, 182 is Travis Barker.
okay.
Number 8 is Slender Man. Number 53 is Down syndrome.
Oh wow.
69 plays upside down and has zero knowledge of sex. 122 is kleptomaniac, shorter than usual, full of rage.
I love it.
Let's
We
see
could
what
go
else
on for
we got.
days. We've got hundreds
Yeah.
of numbers.
420, obviously 420 blazing 24/7. 422, 420, but twice as high.
Yes.
Oh,
You
I
get
love
it.
that.
You get it.
So what would
626.
840 be then?
Whoa.
Sorry?
What would 840 be?
Whoa.
I
Double
don't,
of
fu- I don't know. I don't know if we got one that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We
just
haven't
remember.
updated this in a while.
They're conjoined twins.
Hayden 404 is just missing.
Yeah, there is. no
Oh fuck yeah, that's a good one. We've just never found him again.
Yeah.
821 is retarded. No conditions, just is.
Obviously obviously Hayden 666 is like full black metal gothic, satanic.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the Oh, we had a
You know,
different
that,
one.
you know that this has to be the War Crimes clip now, right?
Oh, yeah.
All the workers are just
Just
different,
Hayden.
different
Yeah.
Haydens.
Yeah,
If
on the
we could
production
do
line.
it, we
they're-
so would. If we could, we so would.
Oh, we haven't.
I would so
no,
have
that's.
that.
We're gonna
That'd
make
get
this
bad.
happen.
We have
Well, I
one
mean,
more
okay.
that I can think of, but it.
To be fair, it doesn't have to be necessarily this clip, but that'd be a good clip idea if you guys have got
Would
that
be.
sort of shit happening in the background. Just like,
It'd add to the lore. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. And you guys should just start introducing every gig Hayden with a different number after as well.
We
Yeah,
did
yeah,
that for a little bit. That's why we have so many. We had a few, but then I just stopped.
Just do
We
the
probably
thing
need to
that-
do it again.
Do the thing that Ghost does, where it's like, this is a new singer. It's the brother of the last one who's 3 months younger than him.
I hate ghosts.
So are you unaware of this lore around Ghost?
No.
That you don't know. You don't
No.
get okay. So basically, they had like a singer, the singer, and then because obviously that's a whole thing of like no one's supposed to know who they are, and
Ah.
then they introduced a new singer, or they claimed it was a new singer, and it was just like, oh yeah, it's his brother who's 3 months younger than him, not half brother, just his brother, which somehow that math is supposed to apparently work out.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
looks
mathing,
sad.
that math don't math, bruv.
Yeah, and and yeah, just like that sort of stuff around it, which I think's kind of it's a fun little thing to have for it. I
We
mean,
should
I'm not
do
like
that.
I'm not a massive Ghost fan personally. I like a few songs, but
I listened to one song, and only because it's a very good coordination workout on guitar. That's the only reason.
like
Purely for practice.
You know,
Professional
Do
reasons.
not rate the song highly.
Yeah, it makes
No.
for a good. It's good because it's hard to play.
the biggest
Uh,
problem, the biggest reason I think that I can't get on board with them as more than I do is just Like, I saw so many photos of the band for years before I heard what they sounded like. And when they look like that, I'm expecting Behemoth. Basically, is what I'm expecting. You know, like I'm expecting Behemoth. And when they came out with like as Goth ABBA, I was just like, you know,
That is the
there's just
best description I've ever heard of Ghost in my life. Goth ABBA.
there was this disconnect. There's this just cognitive dissonance between what they look like and what they sound like, and I cannot move past it. I genuinely believe if I had heard their music without knowing what they looked like, if someone had been, oh, I got to show you these cool songs, and they'd shown me some songs, and I just listened to the songs of it, I would have probably been way more into them than I am. But because of the visual for so long, and then what they sounded like in comparison to that, I just can't make the connection with it.
Ruined.
Unfortunately, but they got. I mean, some of the
We
songs
just got
are
a same from in here too. we just got like a yeah the whole time, like yeah, what he said.
Yep.
Because we're right.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about music.
Don't worry about. Don't worry. No, learn things about music, just not theirs. Sorry, but fuck Ghost. Fuck can't stand it. Doesn't fucking hate it. They just and you know what it is for
At
me.
least
You know what the
trying to
visual is? It spews a massive, dirty cliche, and that's the one thing I don't like. Be creative about it. Be creative
But
about it.
But I think that's the point.
I know.
The point is that they look like a cliche and
I hate
then
it.
don't sound anything like it, which is fine. Like, do like whatever you want to do? Like for sure, I get it. Yeah.
Once again, I'm sitting here yelling at a band that plays internationally to hundreds of thousands of people from my bedroom.
Yeah,
What
they
the fuck
clearly
do I
know
know?
something more than us.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong, I'm self-aware, but I'm just like anything. I'm allowed to have my opinion. Fuck Ghost.
So what kind of music do they make?
Goth ABBA is
Goth
is,
ABBA. It's the best description
That's
I've ever
it?
heard of it. Yeah, Goth ABBA.
Like if you listen to it and you're like, that sounds like if it's like it sounds like if a goth band tried to play an ABBA song.
Yeah.
Or a goth
is-
band did a cover of an ABBA song.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, I'm a big fan of Square Hammer. I think that's an awesome song.
That's the one. It's very
the one,
complicated
yeah.
to play, but it's
And then, there's a couple more songs that I kind of dig, but I don't know. Most of their stuff just doesn't grab me. That's just how it is. Everyone's got their taste, so that's fine.
I had a
Sure
drinking
there's a lot
buddy
of-
that loves it.
Sure, there's a lot of people out there that don't really dig the skunk bone stuff, but
What do they
they're
know?
wrong.
And they're wrong.
If
Yeah.
they're wrong. They can be fucking wrong in their wrongness with their wrong opinions and their wrong juice, but they can.
I don't want to know what the wrong juice is.
The wrong juice is just not the right juice.
We'll leave it at that.
Like, what have I got in here? The
Hopefully,
right
right
juice.
juice.
me too.
Because I'm right. Not like that.
Right-handed, maybe. Sorry, let's continue.
So yes, I don't think when obviously we said the EP's out on the Patreon now. When is it dropping publicly? When can the general public hear it?
8 days from now. So what's that?
8
28.
8 fucking days. Mark your calendars, folks. If you head in
Oh,
the
there's a
gym now,
lot of new music
fucking-
There's a lot of new music
Listen
coming
to
out
it.
on the 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone
No, just
said
us,
something
just
about
us.
Metallica.
No, there's
Was
Was
that-
that,
there
no,
is-
that was
yeah.
for the single. That was for
That
the
was the
single.
single. Yeah, they
Yeah,
dropped
yeah,
that
yeah.
new album. Like y'all didn't plan that one very fucking well.
What do you mean? Busy day.
Oh yeah, the day that everyone's gonna be talking about the new fucking Metallica album, good or bad, and you're like, "Hello, we have a song too."
Over here.
Wait,
Right.
I love y'all, but you fucked
was
that
this
one
on the
up.
14th? Was this the 14th?
Yes,
The single
Ah.
release. Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna be
They
honest.
released-
I didn't even know it happened.
They released it. They've been for months. They've been like, new album's coming out April 14th, and
And we're here like, hey.
y'all really went bet.
Yeah, we got a better one. Hold my beer. We'll
Yeah,
do
hold my
something
beer.
better.
We got something more catchy, motherfuckers.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of is.
Well, okay. So
Look,
how many good songs
Doesn't
are there
have to
on
just
the
be me
Metallica
saying
album
better.
compared to the good songs that we have in the single release?
Oh,
We have to say-
100%.
you got 100% strike rate.
Look,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I say this as someone who has been a fan of Metallica for 25 years, more than 25
is-
years now.
Longer than I've been alive.
Uh,
Don't.
Same.
Sorry. Continue.
Same.
the I actually came to a very interesting realization about the new Metallica album. So when you look back over Metallica's history, their first 4 albums in the 80s, even though they could pretty much all be considered thrash to some degree, they're all very different from one another. There's evolution between the albums there. They improve and evolve and grow as a band. Then you get to the Black Album in 1990, which was a big departure, big change, kind of left turn for them. Then you had Load and Reload, which is, 2 albums that sound very similar to one another. Then again, they took another fucking, just went off over here and did fucking Saint Anger. And after that, including the newest album, the last 3 albums have all sounded very similar. Death Magnetic, Hardwired, and 72 Seasons all have a very, very similar sound, production-wise. The way the riffs and the songs are composed is a lot. It's basically like that, just modern Metallica sound. They've had that sound for the last 15 years. And to me, for a band that has constantly evolved and changed and not had more than 2 albums in a row that sound similar to one another, it's just too much of the same. Like, we've been listening to this sound from these guys since, as I said, 15 years, from Death Magnetic and Hardwired. That's what we've been listening to for these guys from 15 years. Like, give me something different. A lot of the songs on this album, at first listen at least, sounded like offcuts from the last 2 albums. And maybe they'll grow. Maybe they'll grow on me as I listen to them. I mean, look, if they tour, I'm still going to go see them.
Wow, yeah.
I'm
It's
not going to
Metallica.
fucking say no to that. But yeah, and a lot of the film clips that they've been, because they've been doing a film clip for every song on the album. A lot of the film clips is
That's what I want to do.
a lot of the film clips is just them the band performing under weird lighting.
Oh, they gotten that lazy?
And I'm like, half the film clips are just that. And I appreciate, you'll want to do a video clip for every song, maybe, but if you don't have interesting ideas for them, like, don't do it for the sake of doing it. Like, you're Metallica, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but
like,
they're probably just trying to fit into that digital algorithm. What's the best way of doing it? They just
They're like, yep, you got to
throw
do
it
it.
all on
You got to have a
YouTube.
film clip for everything, right? So, but they're not interesting. They're not the kind of film clips that you're going to want to go back and watch and show people.
Yeah,
It's
but
like you've seen it once. It's like there's nothing interesting about them. There's no story to them. There's no anything. It's like, hey, here's the boys performing the song under some weird lighting with some funny filters over it.
I remember when I watched this.
you know what? And that's what it's
18
for. It's just for
So-
those. It's just for those blokes that want to sit there and just chuck it on their.
Luxa Turner, fucking Luxa
That was a
Turner's
great song.
fucking song. I fucking love that. When that was the first single they dropped, I was like, holy shit, yes. Like, production-wise, okay, it might say, but songwriting's like kind of that short, sharp, like thrashier style again. That's really cool. Let's fucking check that out. Let's see where we're going. And then the rest of it is just these like 7, 8, 9-minute meandering songs.
That's
they've
why I
done
didn't do the fucking.
plenty of times on the last album.
I'm not gonna
Last
lie,
couple of
Raph. You go. I'll do that. Like, have a look to see if you. I saw how long the video clip was. I'm like 7 minutes. I'm like, I can't.
I could have sex twice at the very least.
And have a cuddle. And have a cuddle afterwards.
Yeah, in between, even. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
both times.
Yeah.
I could go get a drink in the middle of it all.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah, it was, I don't know, like, as I said, maybe it'll grow on me as I listen to it more. But a lot of that album just doesn't tickle the same spot in my brain that Metallica usually does, which is a shame.
But what
Which is
you're
a
saying,
shame. Like, you never like to see to get an album like that from a band that you have loved for so long. It's happened to a lot of bands. I mean, Lamb of God, their last Lamb of God's last few albums all kind of blur together for me because again, it's
Yep.
just been the same over and over again from them, which is fine. Like, hey, they're out there, as you said, they're out there touring, making fucking millions of dollars and playing to people all over the world, and I'm sat here in my fucking spare bedroom. But
Just because they're
I'm
famous.
still,
and
I'm
good at
still
it.
allowed to have an opinion as
Exactly.
you know, as a consumer and as a fan of their music. Like I said,
Yeah.
Lamb of
You're
God's
not
one of those. Again, I touched on them. They had you look at their first several albums, and there's improvement and evolution and changes, and even some experimentation on them. You like um, Reclamation off the Wrath album, King Me off, I think it was the album that came after that one, Overlord as well. As it's just like when Lamb of God was experimenting with that shit, holy fuck, they made some incredible music.
Mm.
But the last few albums have just kind of been the same stuff, and I feel like this is something that happens, right? Like they found a formula, they found, they kind of have settled into a rhythm maybe, and we're just not. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have the same.
I think it gets. I think there's two things in play here. I think A, it gets to a stage where Lamb of God aren't interested in picking up any new fans. Give the people what they want. You know, I think that's what it gets with some bands. And secondly, I think this is where record labels have a bit to answer for. In a sense that you think when a record, like a record person that works for a record label, say, found Slipknot, Roadrunner found Slipknot, and they go, found this mad band. Here's their EP. Here's their album. Whatever. And the record company will turn around and go, I want 5 more of these, please. Here's $5 million. Do you know what I mean? So it forces them to stick to that formula because that is what the record label is. The expectation. Here's your genre. We're Roadrunner. We deal in heavy metal. This is what we do. We want 5 more albums roughly like this, please.
Yeah, and I mean, look, there's something to be said for bands, you know, sticking with what they know if they're not necessarily feeling like experimenting and going crazy on that front, and that's fine. I just, you know, so many bands that's happened with. I mean, Disturbed, Machine Head, and we talk about Lamb of God as well. It's just I don't know, and yeah, okay. I've not had the fortune of being in a band long enough to release that many albums to have to worry about that problem myself.
Mm.
You know, I have the you know, so I can sit here from a place and seem like I'm complaining and criticizing them. I mean, they're doing what works for them, and that's fine. Like, go for broke. You know, do it. I'm just expressing my view as a fan of the music, and I would prefer something a little bit fresher and more interesting to listen to. I don't know,
And I 100% agree.
That's why AC/DC just releases the same album every year.
At the end of the day, they're only trying to appeal to AC/DC fans, and now that they're a generational one, you know, like you're talking two and three generations of people that are starting to listen to Metallica or even AC/DC and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
As bad as it is to say, you know, it's
Yep.
they don't need to. But yeah, as consumers that have been consuming it for such a long time, it's like eating the same chips every day. I'm gonna get fucking bored of it. You're gonna need to like throw some chicken salt or something on it just to spice it up a bit, you know. And that's just as a long time consumer. That's just we're just spoilt for choice now. We've had this in front of us for so long that we're now complaining about the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's where keeping it fresh is interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't think bringing it back to our guests here. Like I don't think War Crimes Inc. would have worked nearly as effectively as a song if it was just a straight punk song.
Nah.
Oh no, definitely.
If y'all
not,
had just
but-
got up there and done a Sex Pistols rip off of it, like you know, for the.
Oh,
thing,
hold on!
it was
Let's not spoil the next.
it-
let's not
it-
spoil the future releases.
It wouldn't have. No, but especially for a topic like that, it needed the balance, I think, to make it work, and tackling a very, very heavy subject matter in such a light and upbeat and sort of, I don't want to say poppy, but like it's definitely catchy.
The toe tapping, that toe tapping catch.
I mean, we've got to return to Blake. I've always liked the idea of having our music sound-wise fit the sort of idea I'm trying to put in people's head. So to add to that impact, especially,
Yeah.
that's something I really like. I mean, you mentioned Sex Pistols, but one of their songs, in fact, Bodies, it's about, funnily enough, abortion, another favorite subject of ours. And it has a lot of, they do a lot of stuff with their instruments that gives off the vibe of, like, I don't know, abortion. And Dead Kennedys as well, they do it in, like, California Uber Alles, they do, like, door knocking with the drums, just, like, random little things like that I like having in our music, just to sound-wise add to the idea, add to the image that that we're trying to draw in people's heads. So
Yeah, absolutely.
logically, doing it, having a CEO, having a CEO do a little selling
Deal.
pitch makes perfect sense to yeah, do it the way that we did, and that's why it sort of so naturally came about, because we as Blake mentioned before, how we came up with the at least the bass and the drums, like that had already been a thing, and then we're like, oh, we got to do we're gonna do this song. It's gonna be about like profiteering off war crimes and whatnot, and then it just sort of flowed in like, oh, hang on, will we do that like jazz thing? That's kind of jingly. Oh, let's just do that.
Mhm.
And we just like jammed that out for an entire day. So I don't know what point I'm making anymore.
No, but it's very valid, and you know, we're talking about like what else you've got to come. Obviously,
Oh yeah, there's a lot more of that sort of
the-
stuff too.
Yeah, so the EP's there. That one's coming out in 8 days. So pay attention to that. Keep an eye out for that one. Put that in your fucking calendars. Go and listen to it when it comes out.
Or now, if you got Patreon.
Or now if you're on the Patreon.
Yeah.
If you care.
I mean, you know, and
You
you
can
know,
wait.
I'm pretty
waiting.
proud of the work that I did on that one. I've managed to, as you know, the second fucking ever recording that I've done that's been released like that. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out.
You should be.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
Everyone involved, including the band.
What?
I wasn't going to include us, but you know.
Yeah,
So-
no, I don't think we should be happy with ourselves.
Is there gigs happening to promote any of this and surround any of this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well, we have 2 gigs.
Okay.
We have a
Neither of
few
them
gigs.
are
When
specifically.
and where can people come and see you guys play these songs in person and then scream,
Ah.
"Fuck you! I won't do what you tell me."
Oh yes.
yeah, because that's inevitably going to happen.
first
We're
one.
playing Greece May 5th, and then we have our much been talked about charity gig on May 13th at the back room.
That's going to be a big one. We got
Yeah,
8 bands
all
from 2
ages.
p.m. to 10 p.m.
Nice.
Like, yeah,
nice.
that's a whole
Wow, all day.
Who else is playing?
Yeah.
on that one?
Sorry.
Who's playing on that one? Who else is playing?
So of course us. We've got
Chimpletons.
Chimpletons, Not Telling, Piss Off, and
Freddy and the Freakers.
yeah, there's so many names now. I have to try and remember them all.
That's half
Uh,
of them.
Fernie, Freakouts, Shock Value,
Ernie, sorry. Shock value, yep.
Chemical Prisoner. Yeah, like
Nice.
I've just got
Really solid
images of
lineup.
people at this point. I don't remember their
All the
names.
local punk bands. So
Yeah, basically.
And what
You're looking
charities
for
are you
punk.
guys doing this show for?
So we're doing it for homeless youth. We haven't announced who yet, but don't worry, that is being handled.
Okay.
we talked about that today with them. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine the charities out there.
But yeah,
trying to
so
keep homeless.
helping homeless youth is the primary.
hey, if you know any homeless youth, bring them along. As long
Yeah.
as they're old. It's an all ages gig actually, but they under 18s need
Adult.
an adult. Yes.
Just find it as a way to make your boomer parents have to do something good.
And you know what? To be smart,
spend a bit
if
of
you
money.
are underage and you want to get into the show, go find a homeless person that's over 18 and take them to the show with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not going to endorse this,
But it's a good idea.
but
It
if
is a good
people
idea.
do this,
Buy them a
and they
feed too.
don't
Get them a
tell
feed.
us,
Mhm.
they don't tell anyone, they just go, "Yeah, it's my dad." You never know.
You tell us on the
Pretty sure.
door. You tell us on the door that you're between homes, and we'll get you in for free. Honestly.
Look, what I
Like-
don't see doesn't happen.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. Go get yourself some free music.
Yeah.
That's good. So that's okay. So that's you guys. So May 5th and May 13th.
Yes,
Cool.
indeed.
That's very cool. And then, dare we ask, what next?
Hmm.
Like,
Is,
I go to
is there
sleep
any
and
other
get a
plans we can
job.
talk about? That are in,
Big
anything else in the
things.
works? Anything you guys have been sort of hashing out that you want to let us know about?
Well,
I'm
nothing in
probably
the
say
next
not really.
12. Nothing in the next 12 months.
Okay.
But we do
Yeah.
have songs that are unreleased that we'll be
Yeah.
working towards pre-production and eventually
Lovely.
production and such.
Lovely.
Definitely got material.
Mm.
Awesome.
Material
More
conditions, even.
material.
That's one of
You-
the songs. That's one of the songs.
Ooh.
It's a good one. If you're a fan of Slipknot, you'll like that one.
Really?
Fuck you, you
Yeah. Yeah.
bitch.
I might
Ah,
even slip you guys
pink
the demo.
cunt.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude.
Come on over.
I'm interested.
listen.
Wow.
A
So-
punk band?
Well,
Really?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say if that's the sort of
Slipknot's had a couple of songs that have,
Yeah.
that have bordered on punk.
Dude,
punk.
Don't at all ever like expect anything with us. It's just simple as that. I feel like.
Expect the
I like
unexpected.
that. I like that. Well, at the end of the day, you're just doing what the fuck you want, aren't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, to be honest, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
roundabout
doing
punk.
punk.
Unapologetic, like I said, unapologetic, fucking obnoxious in your face, anxiety-inducing punk.
Yeah, I have to take my anxiety meds just because of just because
Just
the
to be
music.
in
Just to
that
get on
band.
stage.
Mm,
I
just to be in this band, it's really hard.
Uh,
uh,
You know,
So just give me money.
I was thinking about like after the little bit of the backlash you copped after Advanced Australia Unfair and shit like that, and it sort of got me thinking. And then when Raph came back from America and stuff like that, you guys are in an age where you guys have grown up with like nothing but war around you, have you?
mhm.
To be honest,
So
yeah.
you guys never really knew a world prior to there being like fucking war all the time, countries going at each other and shit like that.
To be fair, Kyle, we didn't either.
Well,
Yeah, I
in-
mean, there's
in a
always
con-
been some
in,
sort of
in-
war,
in-
but
yes, but into the scale of where it was literally sort of,
But yeah,
do you know what I
get
mean?
yeah.
Like,
in terms of
Yeah.
global crises and
yeah, as
and
in a
and
western sort of setting.
So in everyone's faces and stuff, it's definitely fucked. Like
In this age of information, like we've got there's a war going on, Ukraine and Russia, obviously. We've actually done a charity gig for Ukrainian refugees in the
LGBT.
past. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
that was right not as that kicked off, but a few months.
No, that was a few months after it.
But yeah,
Regardless.
I mean, yeah, the as you say, the age of information where all of this stuff was kind of happening before, we just didn't really know about it if they didn't talk
Yeah.
about it on the news. Whereas now it's, it's far more accessible,
Accessible.
I guess, and
Yeah.
people have a lot more knowledge about what's going on.
People are also a
but,
bit more opinionated.
But
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
a beautiful thing
we're
about
looking at-
Facebook.
yeah, I mean, you guys are a generation that, like, September 11th, 2001 was right at the start of everything, and everything that's come since then. The 20 years of the fucking U.S. military in Afghanistan and still not being able to do what they were trying to do, and
They did what they were trying to do.
what
it
they
just
were,
wasn't
let
us
trying
know.
to do. What they
Yeah.
were publicly trying
Not what they told us what they were trying to do.
Exactly.
and 7 years after that, global financial crisis, And
Another
then-
one.
and then like fucking
We're in
and
COVID
then,
right
then,
now.
like,
Great
few
Depression
years
and
later,
Electric Boogaloo.
few years later, another one, and now we're like, global recession 3, the revengeancing,
Mm.
and fucking
Revenge of the
pandemic
Sith.
that's consumed 3 years of people's lives, and just there's not really been respite for
Well, your generation. Like,
generation.
no, there
We're
hasn't.
sick of it. We're sick of it, and we're angry, and that's what punk is about.
Mate, well, to be fair, like,
We have no hope for life.
Yeah, I'm angry as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah,
We're not gonna take it.
we've been
Oh, I
trying.
was
Like,
listening to that in the car ride home.
The
That's
worst-
that's the next cover, right?
I think the worst part about
Yeah.
it is that it's been what kind of shits me about the
Yeah.
whole thing is that it's been like we have been trying to tell you this for ages. Rage Against the Machine, like Bruce Springsteen, like how pissed off were the boomers when they found out that Born in the USA was a protest song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when
That's great.
people found out what machine people were raging against, they got the shit to get. It's like we have been trying to tell you this for a long time, and to that obviously that puts Rasp's point back in place that it's obviously something that we have been dealing with for quite a long time. It's nothing new, but obviously with your generation and with these bad boys, you got literally got everything. At the touch,
At a much younger age.
yeah, and we didn't have that. We got to sort of be kids and shit. Like we didn't really, like wasn't.
Yeah.
You guys did and looking back on it now, it's like I completely understand why your generation is so pissed off at the whole fucking world
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because it's completely validated. You guys have grown up. You guys have grown up in a world of war and turmoil that has been presented right in your face. You guys get the worst. What were the statistics? It's like you got the phone generation or whatever it is, your generation now. You were subjected to like just bad news 24 hours a day
Yeah.
as you're
Because
scrolling.
and that's what gets clicks. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing we see. you know,
Yeah, and
promoted.
it doesn't seem like you guys are wrong in a lot of things. You know what I mean? You guys have every right to be doing what you guys are doing and protesting the way you guys are protesting in a sense.
Yeah.
And
The oldies wonder why we're this way. They made us this way.
yeah, well, they only have to.
They did raise us.
That's my key fucking thing I keep saying to people, man. This generation did not raise themselves.
Yeah.
And if they did, it's because you let them. You let them sit on their phones and you didn't talk your kids through this stuff and be good parents. Like, cold hard. Like, man, at the end of the day, these shouldn't be dictating the info. Like, if this is dictating the way your kids are thinking, you're not spending enough time with them. Like, and even then, like, it's not even so much in the way they're thinking because kids are always going to rebel. It's a rebellious, like, that's what kids do. We rebel, we've always rebelled in our teenage years. And I think now with kids being able to think for themselves and not in that sense have, I guess, their parents beating down on them, trying to just give them wrong facts. Now they have a good argumentative tool at the same time to sort of go, okay, you're saying this, but this says this. Explain yourself.
Big debate, bro.
Explain
Big
yourself.
debate, bro,
And
with
then
parents.
this is the big. Well, this is why parents get the shits. Is because when they're asked to explain themselves, they can't.
No, you gotta do what I say.
The war cry. This is what I like to call the war cry of the liberal.
War crimes they commit.
No, the war cry of the liberal voter. It is what it is. We can't change it. It is what it is.
That's such a good
That's
word for
liberal
it,
with a
yeah.
capital L for any potential US people. The liberal with a capital L party is the right wing.
Yeah, we're talking Australian politics.
But to be honest, also liberals in America, you're not good enough. Be better.
Yeah.
People
Well,
are.
Yeah, well that's it.
Yep.
I mean, liberal in America is still right of center. I think technically.
I'm so confused. I'm just trying to exist at the moment
yeah.
and not piss anyone off. Really, like that's just.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm worried I'm gonna sneeze and someone's gonna get upset.
people. So awesome. So you got the EP coming out. The rest of the EP coming out in 8 days, and you guys have got those 2 gigs coming up, the 5th and the 13th of May, which is awesome. I'm hoping if I pick up some work by then, I can get out to one or both of those.
Preferably the 13th.
Would love to get back up if you guys are happy to have me for Killing in the Name. I'm sure that
Oh,
can be
certainly.
fun if you're still doing it.
Naturally.
Yeah. Kyle, my friend, you had a rant.
I did. I do. I don't. Did. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. Because I'm gonna have to turn the music off for this one. Hold on, because she's got me pissed off, man. Let's just
Get serious. Get
let's hit it.
serious.
Let's
Let's
hit
get
it.
angry.
Do we need to dim the lights? Hang on, it's
I'll
getting
hit the cut. I'll hit the cutaway, and we'll do it. We'll do it.
I'll just cut my
Rant
light out.
time. All right, y'all. It's rant time. It's been a while since I've actually done one of these.
we haven't had
We haven't had a rant. It's been good vibes here. That's why, we've just been rolling with it. It's been good times had by all, because music is just. But the news has got me pissed off, and it's the lack of journalists or lack thereof. I am just so fucking over seeing these redundant news articles about how someone will find something random and literally scroll through a Facebook section and just pick negative comments and act like that's a whole news story. It's actually gotten to the stage now where if I want any decent information on something that's going on, I have to go to fucking YouTube and stay away from any news outlet. You actually have to go to regular people like us who are passionate about a set subject to actually get relevant information. Because all that's getting spewed out at the moment is puppy dog pieces. I saw a fucking piece about someone getting the shits about fucking Bluey, a cartoon. And they made a whole news segment on it. Like, journalists are becoming so irrelevant. I don't even know why we have news on anymore, because they are not giving facts. I mean, today I was watching the news.
Well, there's your first mistake.
Well, no, I was watching ABC. I was watching the ABC news. I was just I like to at least find out what lies they're presenting. You got to know the lies before you can find out the truth. But what got me is, and this is anyone out there, you can actually get the right news if you are watching the news, but you don't actually watch the news. What you do is, there's a little section at the bottom that scrolls through really important news stuff that doesn't get told. It's all that little stuff at the bottom. I don't know if anyone's heard about this, but there's a flood in the Northern Territory, and they're evacuating people out of Darwin or something, or they're evacuating people from the Northern Territory into Darwin, and that's like at the bottom, and I just don't understand why I can't get that, and I have to go sifting through puppy dog pieces and all this irrelevant bullshit, really,
So
to get to real statements. Like,
yeah. If you're interested, I have there's a news app that I use that I quite like, called Ground News. I'll see if it will show up on the camera there. Ground News is the app, and I found it very useful. They kind of aggregate. It hasn't really shown up on the stream that well, but they aggregate news stories from media outlets all across the political spectrum, and they provide context around that of where on the political spectrum that news outlet sits. So, for example, if it's a mostly right-leaning news outlet, then you get that context around the article, which helps you put it into perspective. 1 second.
bless you.
Thank you. And so at least that it's coming from that sort of background, and so you can find another article on the topic from, say, a more left-leaning outlet and get maybe some information or an approach on it that wasn't in the other article. Or you get there's like a nice section called the blind spot section, where they'll be like, hey, this is a story that mostly right-wing audiences are reading, but a lot of left-wing people don't seem to be looking at this story. This is something you may have missed, or vice versa. And you can, it tells you if it's a more central news outlet, and it helps you just to kind of, they're saying follow the money, right? So it helps you get an understanding and of that context around where that news is coming from. So you can, when you're, reading about it or taking in that video and deciding what your thoughts are about it, or learn, how you're going to perceive that information, you've got that extra context around it, which is so important because a lot of the time people may not realize that what they're reading is from a very left-wing source or a very right-wing source and what biases that may entail. Um, so, if there's a story that is of particular interest, I'll go in there and look it up and you can find it. And it's, yeah, this is, I will say, I know this is sounding a bit like a very bad sponsored post. It's 100% not. It's 100% not Ground News. Although if Ground News wants to sponsor us,
Hey, we'll take
our
it.
inbox is open. But it's, I just find that is like, it's pretty much the only news app that I will utilize regularly
Okay.
because it provides that extra information for you.
Yeah.
And you can go, okay, well, if as I said, you can read. People say, well, how do I get rid of this? Well, you take in the different perspectives.
Yeah.
You read the articles from different sides of the political
But
spectrum,
that's the
along with
only way to do it.
centrist ones, and you kind of go, all right, this feels like I have a somewhat balanced view on this now, or a somewhat reasonably informed view on it. Whereas, if you're just reading one article and then going off on one, like you don't know that information is as accurate as you might think it is, or the spin that might be in place on that. So, highly recommend.
I'm going to download that because that's great. Because I do remember it's one point in my life where journalists were very fact driven. You know what I mean? Where they present the facts and just go, here's what I found out. This, make of it what you will. You know what I mean? And not try and put this mad political spin on it to lean whichever way in the political spiel. My second little rant is everyone knows what fucking happened this week with the fucking Dalai Lama. We all fucking know it.
I don't. Sorry.
He sucked on a little fucking kid's tongue.
Well, my lord.
He kissed a
In
young
camera.
child on the mouth and
On camera.
asked the child to suck his tongue.
Anyone that defends that, you're a fucking scumbag. I don't give a fuck who he is. I don't give a fuck what religious person he is. He done that shit on camera. That is fucking disgusting. That's a child. Check yourselves. Anyone that defends that, check yourselves. Check yourselves so bad.
At the risk of sounding like I'm trying to justify it, I'm not. This is something where some context can come into play. I agree it shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have done it. Apparently there is I think is it a Tibetan saying that had some it doesn't, like, when you put it into English it doesn't translate well and it's a whole confusing thing, and there's people suggesting that could be what was kind of behind it. Where is it?
It's 2023. There's no fucking excuse.
So here we go. In Tibetan culture, it's common to see old grandparents give, like, to kiss a small child, give them a piece of candy or food to children from their mouth. So, like, directly from their mouth to the child's mouth. While it's not the norm in some cultures, apparently it's a commonly done thing. After they give them, the kiss and the candy there's nothing left in their mouth. They'll say the phrase roughly translates to, okay, now eat my tongue. Which is essentially means, like, I've given you all my love and the candy, so that's all I have left. The only thing that I have left to give you is for you to eat my tongue, as in, like, that's what more can I give, basically. Now, shouldn't have happened. Obviously, this is an old tradition, an Eastern tradition. And again, this is from one post. There could be maybe some misinformation around that. I don't know. This is just something I have seen. But it's, apparently it's just from certain regions of Tibet, and it's like, didn't translate well, and he may have misspoken due to his poor, not being great necessarily with English and stuff. And so, again, should have known better. Meant to be representing a modern thing, but just a little bit of context around that, which is all. Context is important.
Yeah.
Context is important.
It is. Still not cool.
It's not,
in my opinion,
not cool.
No,
not cool. Like,
it does sort of point at the whole old man ignorance thing.
And the fact that, and then there's the argument as well of, okay, well, yeah, that's a saying, fine, but if he stuck his tongue out, like I've seen the photos, and he stuck his tongue out and seemed to be expecting the child to actually do that. So I'm like, okay, at what point does it become it's a saying versus expecting the actual thing to take place?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's very
is-
blurry.
It's a problem.
It's
And
a rather old-fashioned tradition,
Yep.
oh, definitely.
which I'm
Definitely.
sure when there were less, not to get political, but back in the day when people were less accountable for their actions and could get away with certain things a little more easily, that's likely where that came about. And
Yeah.
it's endured a little too long.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of sayings from various cultures and languages that don't necessarily translate well into English. But
Well,
if, like I
Certainly.
said, if he had just said it
yeah.
and it wasn't anything else, okay, that's one thing. But to say it and then have stick your tongue out and seem to be actually expecting the child to do it,
Was not a good
I
look.
don't think it was a sexual thing.
I've never
don't.
done it non-sexually, so I don't know
I-
what.
That's a
But
I don't
but
know about
again,
you.
like this is like there's different
Where do you
cultural
draw the
factors
line,
in
though?
play here. It's indicative of certain shows of respect and love between relative, like whatever. Okay, but I don't necessarily think it was done as a sexual thing.
Probably
We
not
in the
from his
West
part.
very conditioned for these things
I
to
hope
be
not. I
sexual.
really hope not.
We have grown up in our society to view these things as sexual.
Yeah.
That's not always the case in other cultures, but
Equally,
it's
it
fucking
can be the case.
Yeah.
and that's equally things that we may not view as sexual can be viewed as sexual in other cultures. So there's elements there in play that the Western world is most of the Western world is going to be ignorant to,
Mm.
and I'm not somehow claiming to be more enlightened. I'm just saying, like, I've seen this thing that potentially lends more context to what happened.
Conservatives thought pronouns were too much as a way of showing respect.
Yeah.
They have yet to hear about the Tibetan thing.
Yeah.
No, they'd
By-
love that.
by the way,
I don't know
since-
what you're talking about.
Since you
Yeah,
mentioned,
I know.
since you mentioned that, I love when a conservative says, I don't have no pronouns. It's like, so
Doesn't
how do I
Um,
address you then? Like, how do I?
Hmm.
I can't refer to you as him, them, her. So you just don't exist then? Is that what we're saying?
they're non-binary. Gotta respect it. Come on.
No, because that means they do have pronouns. Their pronouns are they, them.
Yeah, certainly.
So
Cool,
saying they have
retarded.
no pronouns is
Neo-pronouns.
it's
Yeah, just call them neopronouns. Jeez.
Oh no, just like a strong glare. Like
But again, I mean, I suppose like in certain contexts, I saw a video of it, and they basically were having a mock conversation with with someone that had said well I don't believe in pronouns, and they were speaking to this person without any pronouns, and then the sentence was making no sense because so many words were dropped out of it.
pronouns are
and
context.
It made a great point about it. It's like these people get pissed off about pronouns without really knowing what pronouns are, as is the case with a lot of stuff.
It's like that whole fucking mate. Bud Light, you did good. You did
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
yeah, that was
Oh my
funny.
To
God.
be fair, your beer is fucking terrible. I wouldn't drink it anyway. It had nothing to do with what.
But I might now that
It
there's
had-
a tranny.
And most of the fucking people that went to other beers owned by or made by the same company.
Yeah.
They have no
Oh,
idea how the
no, it's
secular
even-
system works.
Have you seen this? So there's a company that's brought out like an ultra conservative, this is
Yeah.
ultra conservative right wing beer, blah blah blah. We're never gonna go woke, everything. But the speed with which they've set it up basically means that they can't have set up their own brewery to make it. So they must be outsourcing the production of the beer to like to another company to make it. And based on where the beer comes from and the companies that make beer in that state and region, basically there's only two companies that could be big enough to make to produce the beer, and based on the type of beer it is, it narrows it down to one company, and it's the same fucking company that makes Bud Light.
That doesn't. Yeah,
So-
because it's just a virtue signal. It's
Well,
just virtue signaling shit.
yeah. I mean,
So,
on that
yeah.
note, I'm all for inclusivity and such, but I'm still against Bud Light because they're a company,
Just because they're a
Oh,
company.
Dude,
you know,
absolutely. Like,
corporation. I think is the word I'm looking for.
yeah, corporations are not people.
Certainly not. And
And
War Crimes Inc.
They don't
is
deserve
proof of that.
human rights.
They don't deserve any
We-
human rights.
You know
give-
what? You
Well, they
can
don't treat
translate-
humans right, so
Yeah, you can translate War Crimes Inc. over to beer companies if you really
Yeah.
wanted.
I just thought it was hilarious, man. It's like the carry on. Look, I think I saw
And
a,
they wanna-
I think
and
I
they
saw
wanna
a bit of
accuse-
the ad.
They want to accuse the left of being snowflakes.
Oh, ugh.
They put a rainbow on my beer can. So
To
now
be
I'm being-
fair, you're
now
drinking
I'm
light.
upset.
You're drinking light beer, champ. How much of a man are you?
You know, go out and buy
Uh,
a Foster's.
Oh,
Come
I'm
over here.
gonna s-
I'll throw you a
Yeah.
VB. Let's party.
VB long neck, mate.
Yeah.
Ugh.
King Browns.
Righto.
But yeah, mate.
Well,
Other than that, look, just really the rant's really just about guys. Just go out and really try and source out your information, but just try and get as much as you can because there's obviously two sides to every story, and if you pigeonhole yourself into just getting one, you're never really going to get all the facts. You're just going to get what you want, and
Yeah.
That's
and,
Echo
that's-
chamber.
and you know, and automatically saying this is what most of the media is saying, so therefore it must be wrong, is just as dumb as saying this is what most of the media is saying, therefore it must be right.
100%,
Mm.
100%. It's like that.
It's like people that hate they like a band until the band gets popular and then they dislike the band because the band got too popular. It's the same fucking thing, guys. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not a political podcast.
No.
See what you guys do.
Until
See what
until
happens when
Unentitled
you're
I
come
haven't
on.
fucking-
said
We're not a
a
political
single
podcast until
word
Unentitled go
this
on.
See what
entire
happens.
You've just
thing.
sat here and
Yeah.
watched this go on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Fucking rabbit hole, and you're radicalizing us. You're
Yeah.
radicalizing us. This will not stand.
And he's
I
sitting.
think this
Yeah.
shows
He's
that
sitting
my
there.
job's done well
Yes,
done.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Dance, my puppets, dance.
The Shadow Corporation has come to the forefront.
Speaking of
That's
socialism, we have some free shit to give away.
Oh,
Did we reach 100? Because
No,
I have.
we didn't reach 100. We didn't.
I've
But
got
you
an
know
inch and a
what? There's
half
there's a
left,
couple of people
man.
in the chat. I can see a couple of people in there. You've been very quiet
Couple of
tonight.
people hanging around.
But
yeah,
there's a
quiet,
little bit
but-
of an opportunity now. You know what? If you're in Queensland and you followed, you got to be a follower though. Here's an opportunity for you to get.
Not just in Queensland. I mean, this is all of our.
Yeah, it's all of
followers.
our followers. All of our
All of our
followers. If you can get to Queensland, Jimna. There's
Jim the
two
Rock's Music
tickets.
Festival.
Two tickets
When
for.
is that?
That is the
When is
29th and the 30th of April. So it's the Queensland long weekend.
Ooh.
If
It's-
you make your way up, this is a double pass that we have to give away right now. So
Yeah,
if you're
you
wat-
get to go camping. It's not your camping
you're-
gear, it's just the entry.
if you're watching right now and you are not following, hit that follow button because in 60 seconds we're going to spin the wheel and get a name from our followers. So if you're not following within the next 60 seconds,
Mhm.
you're at shit out of luck. But this is
Hold
a
on.
double pass value of like $240, something like that,
I'll help you out.
to
Yeah,
the event.
yeah, you can bring. You know
Get
what?
in there for 2 days. There's like 20 odd bands playing.
24,
fucking-
24 bands. It's like a miniature Woodstock. Bring your nan,
Dude.
she'll love it.
Jim
Give-
the Rocks, bring your nan.
Yeah,
I
she'll
love
love
it.
it.
That should be their slogan for next year.
Do we want to name drop a few of the bands?
Known for
'Cause
loving rock.
We have,
Rock
yeah, some of the
Yeah.
bands. We have Trip Sitter, who will be
Absolutely,
releasing. If you didn't see the Beer Buddy stream with Trip Sitter, we actually played Miss Tina live. We got the track early.
Ooh.
Go and
Very
listen to it. I took all the audio out of everyone that was talking, and it's just the song, so you can't hear anything else but the track. It's absolutely on point. Seriously, go and listen to it. Roadhouse, Wayward Sons, Crave,
Brave. I know those guys.
Crave. Oh, and Craver on the Beer Buddy. Craver on Beer Buddy on Monday, 8:30 p.m.
Oh hell yeah!
Which we will be doing the last giveaway for the last two
Last
tickets.
giveaway.
And
So
that'll
if you
be
don't win this one, go over and watch the Beer Buddy stream on Monday. you might get lucky there. So who else was like Wayward Sons, Upsize, Joshy Dreads,
Joshy Dreads, yeah, that's going to be a very interesting show. It's New South Wales boy.
yeah, Goldie Hawn, Dreams of Indigo. Well, this is a good lineup, man.
Dreams of Indigo are a standout for me personally. Dreams of Indigo are like, oh.
Yeah, maybe I should put my name on the list. Maybe I can win the double pass. That'd be...
Hey, if you want, I can pick you up on the way through.
Oh,
If no one
I don't know,
enters, you
man.
guys are going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Beer Buddy's going to be there.
I'm
so
going to
you
be
get
there,
to chat with him. He'll be going around talking to everyone, having a grand old time.
running amok.
All right. Has it been 60 seconds? I
Yeah,
think
it's been 60.
Let's hit the thing. All right. So we're just gonna. We got all the names in a list here. All 90 odd of you. We are gonna pick a random name. Can we get a really shitty drum roll, please? Anybody? Worst drum roll ever.
Hey, I'll have you know who's that drummer.
Hey, and I know this gentleman lives in Queensland. I don't know if he's watching at the moment, but we will get in touch. Bones Jones Bass.
Bones
Old mate
Jones
Bones
Bass.
Old mate Bones from Disgust.
Hey.
Congratulations, my man.
got him, man.
We will be
touch.
reaching out to you. I'll get in touch with you via Facebook to grab all your information and get that one sorted.
Get them sent out ASAP.
Big congratulations. We'll grab your details and you will get that double pass to Jim the Rocks sent out to you right away. Well done, mate. Well done.
Congratulations.
And he's been following us for a while, so that's awesome.
That's
a
good.
Nice bit of love out of that. Thank you so much. All right. Mate, yeah, so you said you got Crave coming up
On Monday, 8:30 p.m.
Monday, and
Should be
Sorry.
all three of them, Lockie, Sienna, and oh god,
Ryan,
Right.
Ryan. Far out.
Hey, ask him. Hey, here's something for you guys. You guys have seen Nardwar's interviews, right? He pulls out
Yeah.
the weirdest shit. Ask them about the shed gig at my place.
Oh,
Mhm. No, it wasn't a shed gig.
It wasn't a shed gig. It was my birthday, and they came around. But this was before Lockie was in, so
okay,
he
so
might not
shed
know.
gig.
Yeah, it
But
wasn't.
we should say like Blake's birthday.
Yeah, well, yeah. Blake from
Blake's-
Unentitled. Yeah.
B-Day. Done.
So they might.
And then,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then once you get that one in the bag, it's just a couple of days till you make it.
And then
your
we're
way up.
heading it, and then we're hitting it, and I'll be doing non-stop filming, and just really trying to showcase the vibe of the festival for the weekend.
Awesome, wonderful. That's so good. All right, so I guess that means next week I am potentially riding solo. I might reach out to some people, see what's happening, but do tune in. We should have something happening. I think pretty sure I talked to someone about. I don't know. We'll make it happen. I don't know who we got lined up next week, but we'll talk to someone. As always, if you are in a band or anything related to music and you want to talk shit with us, please reach out. Get in touch via Twitch, Facebook, email, whatever you got going on.
And also, go check out, if you are in a band also, make sure you go get your video clips and all that stuff over to the local band Smoke Out Australia, CJ the Pineapple Drummer.
Yes.
Be
yes.
so happy to showcase all your music, all that done, free promotion. It's a great weekend. It's a great sesh as well. We've been on the
Yeah,
show. I had a
get-
great time.
Yeah, just get to hang out, have a grand old time, sink some piss, and watch some cool videos. That's always a lot of fun. And CJ's an awesome dude too, so always good to talk with him.
Might even just sneaky throw your Events Australia Unfair one in there on this Sunday.
Yeah,
That'll
Be
drum
some-
up some controversy.
That'll definitely get some comments happening for sure. But yeah, all right. So as we talked about, you guys have got those 2 gigs coming up, the 5th and 13th of May. You got the EP already out on the Patreon. So
Go.
if you want to get it right now, go to the Patreon and make sure you're subscribed on there. If not, 8 days until that one comes out. Anything else that you guys want to promote while you're here before we wrap things up?
I mean, if we were to
God.
shout out anyone,
Have anything else?
we could shout out Tribe. Those guys are great.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're doing a-
Absolutely. Actually,
Alright,
yeah.
then.
Are they still doing a fundraiser? I think
They're always
Oh,
doing
Yeah,
a
they're still doing a
fundraiser.
fundraiser.
They're always doing a fundraiser.
they're a
of some
charity. I
kind.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Good old Tribe Clubhouse up at Redcliffe.
Yes,
They're cool
absolutely. Yeah,
people.
if you're anywhere near Redcliffe and you got something going on, definitely make a point of getting out there. It's got an awesome little space out there, so
We're gonna be
well
doing a
worth
heap
checking
of
out.
gigs.
Good vibe, good
Yeah.
people.
Close and friendly and very,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
definitely. Been trying to tee something up with
good.
those guys to have them come on. Something else that I haven't even talked to Kyle about this one, so just bringing this one on Kyle right
Oh.
now. Something else that I've been looking at working on is we want to try and do a bit more discussion around venues that take a merch cut from bands versus those that don't.
Oh, this shit again.
And we have come into possession of a list of numerous Australian venues that apparently take a merch cut. So we're going to be looking into some of this, trying to reach out to venues, get some comments from their perspective on it. Maybe they can offer some context that we are unaware of around this, and see what comments we can get from them about it, to try and just explore a little bit more into that side of things. Because as you will know if you've watched the podcast before, we are very, very passionate about it. Our stance is firmly that venues should not take a cut of merch unless bands get a cut of the bar. The only exception being if the venue has provided a person to sell the merch for you, because we understand that person has to get paid. But yeah, this is something that we're going to be hopefully looking into a little bit more in the coming weeks and months. And
Want
once
answers?
once we feel like we've got enough compiled on that, we will put something.
Drop
out.
it on WikiLeaks. Drop
If
the list on
you-
WikiLeaks. Yeah.
If you're a band that has a story about venues taking merch cuts, please feel free to reach out and get in contact with us. We would love to hear from you. If you are part of a venue,
That takes
please
merch
reach out.
cuts.
Please, either way, if you're part of a
Kill
venue,
yourself.
please reach out to discuss why you do or do not take merch cuts, what your reasoning is behind that, and the justifications behind those decisions. Because again, we would love to hear from everybody involved in this, so we can try and get to the bottom of it.
Because to be fair, if we get a decent one, we'll back off.
Yeah, look, if we can get,
I can't
if we
think of
can get
one.
some decent information, but like I said, we want to do this, and when some sort of, our cheap, shitty bootleg version of investigative reporting, I guess you could call it. So, but yeah, if we're all done with all of that, I think yeah, let's take it home. Let's wrap this one up. Thank you so much to our guests,
Thank you for
Unentitled,
having
for
us
coming
on.
on and talking to us about the new single and the EP and everything. We always love having you all on to talk shit. And get out to those gigs if you're in Queensland, because they're awesome gigs and you definitely want to go to them. Once again, Bones, we will be in contact with you regarding that Gymna Rocks ticket, double pass. Mate, I think that's it. Have you got anything you want to say before we wrap things up? Anyone else want to?
Go listen to Unentitled. Hurry up. Do yourself a favour. Educate
Yeah.
yourself. Educate yourself.
If you haven't
Listen-
listened, go and do it as soon as you finish listening to this.
Yeah.
Listen to the jazziest punk band you've ever heard.
Yeah. Just
Well, the
mate, and
funkiest jazz band.
just appreciate some new music. They've done really good work on both tracks that they've released out. I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of the EP and everything else you guys have moving forward.
I'm just so glad to be done with it all.
Don't say that. You got to get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Yeah.
It never ends, man.
ends. It never ends.
Hey, the war is never over.
Hey, I know where to get some agua if you're still down, Raf. To
Oh yeah,
produce.
always. My-
Sorry,
I got-
can you guys
I take my
can you
stuff
guys do
to
your solicitation off stream?
All right.
Oh,
Wait,
my birthday's on
Blake,
a Friday this year,
solicitation?
awesome.
Oh no.
My birthday's on a Friday this year. I'm gonna get so fucked up. I've got a hangover until Monday.
Oh, I like them ones.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you once again to our lovely guest from Unentitled. Thank you to my co-host Beer Buddy. Thank you for watching.
Are we allowed to play a video clip?
Should we play a video clip? Should we play the
Advanced Australia Unfair?
Australia Unfair film clip to take it home? Is that something we should do?
Yeah, if you're not going to get copyright striked for it, go
No,
for
we
it.
take it out before we
Nah,
put it on
take it
YouTube.
out.
Ah,
This is
yeah,
purely
yeah.
for- this is
Fuck yeah, do
purely
it.
for those on the stream. All right, well, we're going to play that. Before we do, while Kyle's setting that up, again, thank you so much,
People are
everybody,
just
for
gonna
watching.
complain in the last moments.
As always, look, we talked about it today. The world's pretty shit. There's been all sorts of shit of dramas going on. So just make sure you take care of yourself and those around you. Be kind to people. Be kind to yourself. We love you guys. Peace out, and we will catch you all.
Like Blake
next week.
says, don't be a cunt.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Peace
Says.
out. See yous.